President Cyril Ramaphosa has signed into law the Local Government Municipal Systems Amendment Bill. The bill seeks to make provision for the appointment of municipal managers and managers directly accountable to municipal managers. For more on this, we are joined by local government expert Dr. Tim Maake. Dr. Tim, very good morning. Thanks for speaking to us. Now, what are the implications of this bill on the current operations and municipalities in the country?
Good morning, Hugo, and good morning to your viewers. I think, firstly, let's indicate that the signing into law by the President of the amendment bill, it's not the first. You'll recall that the Municipal Systems Amendment Act 7 of 2011 has provided for the same provisions that have now been incorporated into the new bill that has just been signed into law by the President. In 2017, the Constitutional Court declared the amendment of the Municipal Systems Act as unconstitutional for two reasons, and one of the reasons had to do with the tagging issue. Tagging meaning that the procedures that were followed to enact the amendment of the Municipal Systems Act at the time did not follow the parliamentary processes in terms of promulgation or enactment of laws. And that means that in this case, what was found was that the procedures that followed were not inclusive or were not the appropriate one. Because the procedure that was followed at the time, it was through Section 75 of the Constitution, which does not include the requirement to table the bill before the National Council of Provinces. In this case, it was a requirement that the amendment was supposed to be tabled before even the NCOP, primarily because the provisions of the Act were going to affect all provinces in the country. That was one of the issues the Constitutional Court had issue with, which led to the amendment being declared unconstitutional. But the second one was regarding the rights issue, and this was an issue raised. We should remember that the amendment of the Municipal Systems Act was taken to court by one of the labor unions within the local government sector, which is the South African Municipal Workers Union, which raised an issue around some provisions of the Act being discriminatory, particularly because of the fact that it was only barring the municipal managers and managers reporting directly to the accounting officer, which the Constitutional Court agreed with the submission by the South African Municipal Workers Union. Hence, it was declared unconstitutional. And because the court does not mingle itself in the responsibility of making laws, it then afforded government to correct those provisions that made the Municipal Systems Act number 7 of 2011 as amended to be declared unconstitutional. And what the President was doing was just to make sure that those requirements or those corrections had to be effected, meaning that now the bill has gone through the Section 76 processes in terms of the Constitution of the Republic, which means that it was tabled even before the National Council of Provinces. Secondly, it has remedied some of those equality issues that were raised by the applicants before the court with regard to discrimination. And in this case, that's why we now see the bill that the President has signed into law has made provisions to include instances where a person is appointed in an acting position. So which simply means that whether you are permanently or you are in an acting position, you shall not hold political office of a political party. And it also specifies which political office positions it's referring to. But
Dr. Tim, if you allow me to come in there, you've given us a great background, but let's talk about a couple of things. And one of those things is the current operations on how municipalities operate, which has been a big issue. What are the implications of this bill on that, firstly? And secondly, who becomes the implementing authority of the bill?
Yeah, I was going there, Hugo. Just to say, what has added as well, it's no longer talking about municipal managers. Now it is talking about the entire staff complement of a municipality. And what does that mean? It simply means that people will no longer be considered for appointment into positions at municipal level based on their political positions, because that has created an entitlement. Hence, you see a situation wherein even the cleaners, they are not able to commit to the work that they are appointed to do, primarily because they might be holding certain political offices where decisions are made and they have to participate in all of those decisions. And in certain instances, it tends to undermine even the legal authority of the superiors or the supervisors of those kind of employees. Now, who has to implement? It simply means that the council of a municipality is legally obliged to make sure that it upholds the principles as contained within the bill, where they need to make sure that all employees that are appointed within the municipalities, none of them holds political office. Hence, the bill stipulates that in the instance where already it's an employee of the municipality and is the chairperson of the region, is the chairperson of a branch, it is allowed for a period of a year for such a situation to be remedied, which simply means that going forward, municipalities will need to verify that the employees that it takes through the recruitment and selection processes must confirm indeed if they are holding any political office in any political party. That's where it is going, which simply means that it becomes legally obligatory for the council to also verify that fact before it appoints any employee within the municipality.
Dr. Tim, my final question has obviously been an issue around cadre deployment by the ANC. A lot of people have said that this has contributed to the detriment of municipalities, because many of the individuals that have been seconded to these municipalities are not capable or do not have the requisite qualifications. Are we likely to see an allaying of these fears now that this bill has been passed into law?
Look, Hugo, we can with certainty say that we're not going to see those kind of tendencies erupting. You'll recall even the president himself, during the Zondo Commission and during his January 8 statement, he did concede to that aspect. And I think even recently, from the policy conference of the ANC is acknowledging those kind of aspects. The important thing here, Hugo, it's those people who have got to apply these provisions of the law, and those of us who have got interest in becoming employees. We need to be mindful of the consciousness that has been provided even in Section 195A of the Constitution, which requires public administration to be professional. Now, it is upon the individuals who have been bestowed with the responsibility to implement these laws to make sure that they implement these laws without any fear or favor. But that is more of a challenge, unfortunately, that we have in the country. We have got several laws, but there is a huge, high level of non-compliance with those very same provisions of the law. So even if the president has passed this into law, it depends on those who are going to apply that law to make sure that they stick to the requirements of the law to the letter. And hence, one would say that in the country, we lack the appetite for the rule of law. Laws are there, but there's always deviations from those laws, which leads to the kind of situations that we see in the country.
Dr. Tim Maake, local government expert, appreciate your time this morning, depolitising municipalities, talking to us about the Municipal Systems Amendment Bill, which was recently signed off by the President.